There's a quiet moment that many people don't notice at first. A small hesitation when standing up from a chair, a slight wobble while walking to the kitchen, or that strange feeling when your legs don't feel as strong as they used to. At first, it feels harmless and you tell yourself, it's just age. It's normal. But what if I told you this is often the very first warning sign your body gives before something much more serious begins? Before the falls, before the loss of independence, before the fear of not being able to move freely in your own home, your legs are usually the first to weaken. And here's the part most people don't realize. By the time you actually feel the weakness, your muscles may have already been silently declining for years. I've seen this happen so many times. A patient walks into the clinic saying, "Doctor, I don't know what happened. I was fine just a few months ago, but when we looked deeper, the signs were always there." Slower walking, avoiding stairs, needing support to stand. The body whispers long before it screams. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself holding onto furniture while walking or choosing to sit instead of stand just because it feels easier? Maybe you started avoiding going out because you're afraid your legs might not support you. If even one of these feels familiar, then this message is for you. Because the truth is, weak legs don't just affect your mobility. They affect your confidence, your independence, your freedom. And once that starts slipping away, life begins to shrink. Simple things like going to the market, visiting family, or even walking in the park start to feel like challenges instead of joys. But here's the good news, and I want you to really listen closely. This process is not only preventable, in many cases it is reversible. Yes, even if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, even if your legs already feel weak, even if you've tried before and felt like nothing worked. Because today, I'm going to show you something incredibly simple, something that takes just 2 minutes a day. A small habit that can begin rebuilding your strength, improving your balance, and helping you feel steady on your feet again. And no, it doesn't require a gym, expensive equipment, or even being fit. All it requires is your willingness to take one small step. But before I show you that, you need to understand what's really happening inside your body. Because once you understand that, everything will make sense. And more importantly, you'll finally know exactly what your legs need to become strong again. So stay with me, because what you're about to learn could change the way you move, the way you feel, and the way you live your life starting today. Type continue for the next part. Let's gently uncover what's really happening inside your body. Because once you understand this, you'll never look at your legs the same way again. As we age, our muscles naturally begin to shrink in a process called muscle loss, and it doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly, quietly, almost invisibly, especially in the legs. These are the largest muscles in your body, responsible for carrying your weight, maintaining your balance, and keeping you steady with every step you take. But here's the surprising part. It's not just about the muscles getting smaller. It's also about the connection between your brain and your muscles becoming weaker. Over time, the signals that tell your legs to move, react, and stabilize become slower and less efficient. That's why you might feel delayed when trying to catch your balance, or why your steps feel less confident than they used to. And then comes the biggest factor of all, inactivity. The less you use your leg muscles, the faster they weaken. It becomes a cycle. Your legs feel weak, so you move less. And because you move less, your legs become even weaker. Many people don't realize they've entered this cycle until simple movements start feeling difficult. I remember a gentleman in his early 70s who told me, "Doctor, I stopped taking walks because I felt tired. And now I can barely walk at all." This is how quickly the body adapts to less movement. The phrase, "use it or lose it," isn't just a saying, it's a biological reality. Now here's something that might surprise you even more. Weakness in the legs is one of the strongest predictors of falls. And falls are not just accidents. For many seniors, a single fall can change everything, leading to injuries, hospital visits, and a long road to recovery. But the root cause often begins long before the fall itself, with gradually weakening muscles and reduced balance. There are also a few common myths that quietly make things worse. One of the biggest is the belief that walking alone is enough to keep your legs strong. While walking is wonderful for your heart and overall health, it doesn't always challenge your muscles enough to maintain strength, especially as you age. Another myth is thinking that rest is the best solution when your legs feel weak. In reality, too much rest without the right kind of movement can accelerate the problem. And perhaps the most damaging myth of all: I'm too old to rebuild strength. This simply isn't true. The human body is incredibly adaptable. Even in your 80s and 90s, your muscles can respond to the right kind of stimulus. They may not grow as quickly as they did when you were younger, but they can absolutely become stronger, more responsive, and more reliable. So now you can see the full picture. It's not just aging, it's muscle loss, reduced nerve signals, and decreased activity working together. But the moment you interrupt this cycle, even with something small and consistent, your body begins to respond. And that brings us to the most important part of this journey. What you can actually do starting today to rebuild that strength safely and effectively without overwhelming yourself. Because in the next part, I'm going to show you simple, practical actions you can take every single day, including a powerful 2-minute exercise that can begin waking your leg muscles back up almost immediately. Type continue for the next part. Now that we understand what's happening inside your legs, let's talk about what you can actually do to turn things around. The first step is realizing that small, consistent movements can make a huge difference. You don't need to spend hours at the gym, lift heavy weights, or push yourself to exhaustion. In fact, the most effective approach is often simple, safe, and repeatable every single day. One of the easiest and most powerful exercises to strengthen your legs takes just 2 minutes. It can be done anywhere at home, in your living room, even while watching TV. The movement targets your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, the key muscles that keep you upright and stable. When practiced consistently, it improves strength, balance, and coordination, making everyday activities feel easier and more natural. Alongside this exercise, daily habits play a big role. Make a habit of standing up from your chair several times a day without using your hands. Walk a little extra whenever possible. Simple choices like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, pacing while on the phone, or parking a bit farther from the store all count. These small movements accumulate and help maintain muscle tone and joint flexibility. Diet is another critical piece. Your muscles need the right fuel to grow stronger. Protein-rich foods such as eggs, fish, beans, and nuts support muscle repair. Calcium and vitamin D strengthen bones, which in turn support strong, stable legs. Hydration matters too. Muscles that are well hydrated work more efficiently and recover faster. It's equally important to avoid common mistakes that slow progress. Sitting for hours without breaks weakens muscles faster. Over-relying on mobility aids too early can reduce the natural use of leg muscles. And ignoring discomfort or minor aches often leads to further weakness. Listen to your body, but don't let fear prevent you from moving. Consistency is key. 2 minutes a day may sound small, but over time it creates lasting change. You're essentially sending your body a signal. Use me, strengthen me, support me, and your muscles respond to that signal. Even if progress feels slow at first, every step forward matters. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about making small, sustainable adjustments that fit into your daily life. Your legs were built to move, and with just a little attention each day, they can regain strength, stability, and confidence. And the best part? Once you start seeing improvements, motivation grows naturally. Tasks that once felt challenging become easier. Walking feels more effortless. You regain confidence. And your independence starts to feel secure again. Now imagine a few weeks from today. You stand up from your chair without hesitation, your steps feel steady, and walking up a flight of stairs doesn't leave you breathless or afraid. That quiet fear you may have felt about losing your independence starts to fade, replaced by confidence and freedom. This is not just a dream, it's entirely possible, even if your legs have felt weak for months or years. The truth is, your body is resilient. Even after decades of gradual weakness, muscles can rebuild, balance can improve, and energy can return. It doesn't require drastic changes, just consistent, thoughtful care. That 2-minute daily exercise, combined with simple habits like gentle walking, standing more often, and proper nutrition, creates a ripple effect. You begin to reclaim not just your strength, but your life. Think about it, strength isn't just physical. It's emotional. Every confident step you take reminds you that you are capable. Every movement without fear reinforces independence. You're proving to yourself, day by day, that aging doesn't mean giving up, it means adapting, caring for your body, and reclaiming control. So here's the key takeaway. The moment you notice weakness, don't ignore it. Take action. Start small. Commit to just a few minutes a day. Encourage your muscles to wake up. And remember, every step forward matters. You are never too old to rebuild strength, to regain confidence, and to enjoy the freedom of movement. I want you to leave today with hope. The same legs that may feel fragile right now have the potential to carry you confidently, safely, and freely through your life. The path is simple, the commitment is small, and the reward is immense. Your body is capable, trust it, care for it, and watch it respond. If you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe for more senior health tips, and leave a comment sharing your journey. Your story could inspire someone else to take that first small step towards stronger, steadier legs, and a more independent life. Your journey starts now. Every movement counts, and your legs can become strong again.